Did Top Thrill 2 at Cedar Point just become an upcharge attraction? Let's take a look. Good evening and welcome back to Judventures. We're doing a quick little update here tonight because Cedar Point have released their guidelines for the new Top Thrill 2 roller coaster. And we can see this being quite a divisive issue amongst coaster fans and coaster enthusiasts out there because these safety guidelines are really quite restrictive on how you can and can't ride the ride. Obviously, Cedar Point are wanting to take every precaution that they possibly can with Top Thrill 2, given the history of Top Thrill Dragster. Now, for those of you that don't know, which won't be many, Top Thrill Dragster, through its 19-year run, had many issues. And those include what was, I believe, a blanking plate coming off the hill, the top hat, striking the roller coaster all the way down and hitting a young lady in the head, leaving her clinging for life in intensive care. Then there was also an issue with a cable that snapped, again leaving someone injured. And there have been many occasions of smaller reports of items being flung from Top Thrill 2 as it was in operation and hitting guests and riders underneath. Now, because of the major incident that happened with the plate and with the lady that was in intensive care, Top Thrill Dragster was eventually closed to be reimagined, and it has since been reimagined as Top Thrill 2, the world's only coaster with a triple launch system. It looks absolutely phenomenal, really, really intense. The launch doesn't look as intense as Top Thrill Dragster. That is probably intentional after all of the issues that were had before. But now it uses that LSM motor to give that initial launch. You do get the patented rollback, although this time it is an intentional rollback, before going backwards up a spike and then being propelled forward to make it over that top hat for that unique Top Thrill 2 experience. Now, Top Thrill 2 has been built, it has been testing, it has all of its ride entrance and theming put into place over this last week. It is just about 100% ready to go. And then Cedar Point have released the following safety guidelines. So the guidelines do go into the fact that there is a very specific rider size to go on the Top Thrill 2 train. If you don't fit, you're not getting on. There's no leeway there. Obviously, some coasters and some manufacturers do allow a ride system that can click in multiple places. This will not be it. It will come down if you don't fit. There's no pushing, there's no squeezing. You're straight off and you don't ride. You will not be able to take glasses in there that are loose glasses. Your glasses will have to be attached to your head by a very tight strap. Imagine wearing goggles. Now, you will be able to buy little things to add to your glasses, but how many people actually have a set of glasses that have an attachment on to hold them tight against their face? So, contact lenses or difficulty in strapping the glasses to your head. You will also be required to wear tight footwear, so sandals, Crocs, any kind of footwear without a back or without a strap that aren't held on securely will not be permitted to go on the ride. You also can't go in there barefoot, and therefore, if you're not wearing trainers, you can't leave your footwear that you're wearing, your sandals behind. You can't get on the ride, so you're going to have to potentially take a change of footwear there. If you're wanting to walk around in your comfortable sandals all day, you're going to have to get changed into a different pair of shoes before you get on Top Thrill 2. And then overall, loose items, mobile phones, keys, coins, lipstick, lip chap, anything that you name it that you can possibly take on that ride could not be taken on with you. It's not allowed to be taken on in zipped pockets. It's not allowed to be taken on in fastened pockets. It's not allowed to be taken on in waist bags, or as we call them, bum bags, fanny packs. It's not allowed to go on there. All loose items must be left behind before you attempt to enter the ride. And there's no sneaking them on there as well, because at the ride entrance, they're going to have metal detectors. So any item that could potentially be found, like an airport, you will go through. You'll be stopped from getting on that ride unless you can remove all of those loose articles. It is fantastic to have all of that safety there to look after the riders of this unique attraction. The only problem is all of these safety features and guidelines have been put into place after the ride has actually tested and been built. And that means, therefore, there is no lockers in the actual queue or at the ride entrance for Top Thrill 2. This means for all of the people going to ride Top Thrill 2 that either you have to leave all of your things behind with someone, and you're going to have something. Almost no one travels completely free of tat. You'll have some form of money, you'll have a wallet, you'll have a mobile phone or car keys to get there. Something you are going to have on your person. You're going to be standing potentially, especially when it first opens, in a 2, potentially 3 hour queue where you're not going to have anything on you to be able to ride. That's one thing that's slightly annoying, but for safety, okay, you can let it pass. However, the fact that they've not got those lockers in the queue is quite a divisive and annoying feature, I imagine, for a lot of people. Because you're not allowed to place them anywhere, because there's not a locker system within the queue, unless you have someone that is willing to wait around for 2 to 3 hours for you off ride, carrying all of your junk around, and if you're a family of say 4 or 5 people and you're all leaving your stuff with them, they can't go off and do their own thing. They're stuck for a couple of hours holding your crap. The only other option is to put all your stuff in a locker. But because the lockers haven't been provided, that means that you've got to go all the way back to the entrance for one of the paid lockers in order to ride Top Thrill 2. So, granted, it isn't a specific paid for attraction to get on Top Thrill 2, but the fact is that there's going to be an extremely small percentage of people that can just walk on without having to think first about where their stuff is going to go. So the vast majority of people are probably going to end up paying for a locker, which to me, if more than a certain percentage are being forced to pay for a locker because you've not provided them for a ride that you knew had these issues and a ride that you knew you wouldn't be able to take these things on, yet you've not provided these lockers, you've not built them, for me, that's quite appalling, because that is just a cash grab. It's what, $16 to $20 to rent a locker, and unless you're going to walk all the way back to the entrance. Now, granted, I've never been to Cedar Point, so I cannot tell you how far that is, but looking at all of the maps, it does look like it's quite a distance between where Top Thrill 2 is and the entrance. It's not just a 10-second walk. To potentially have to go back there and get your stuff all of the time, one, it's eating a hell of a chunk out of your day. Two, you're forced to pay that extra $28 or between $15 and $20 when you get there. It's just not good enough. They knew this ride was going to have the issues, and they knew, at least if they didn't know, you could have taken a damn good guess. I'm not even in the same country. I'm not even in the same business of manufacturing these kind of rides and designing them. And I could have guessed that you're going to require bloody lockers to put your stuff in. And for them not to do it, and instead have these lockers that you have to go out and pay for, seems to me like a complete and utter cash grab. And if it's not a cash grab, it's an oversight. How the hell are you not worried about getting on this ride if the people that are designing it can have an oversight like this? Now, fear not, there may actually be a slight way around this issue. I have seen a couple of people online. Now, for me, I have no idea whether this would work. Again, I've not been to Cedar Point. It is a bucket list destination for us. But if you go over and you ride something like Steel Vengeance, which has its own lockers in there for riders of the ride, which Top Thrill 2 should have done, you could put your stuff into the locker at Steel Vengeance, go and ride Steel Vengeance, come back off, don't pick your stuff up, go down to Top Thrill 2, ride Top Thrill 2 with your stuff still secured in the free locker, and then when you finish Top Thrill 2, go back and collect your stuff. That is the idea behind it. I don't know if that would work because I don't know if there's a time limit on the Steel Vengeance lockers. I don't know whether if they caught you, they would have an issue with doing that. And plus, still, that means that at times you're going to be without any of the things that you may need for a number of hours, because you'd have first a queue and the ride of Steel Vengeance, and then you'd have what will at the start be quite a big queue and the ride time for Top Thrill 2. If there's potentially an emergency or something, you're not going to have access to your phone for that entire time. And if you've got kids that aren't very patient or for some reason aren't that good at queuing and need that little bit of a phone or something to look at, you're not going to have it as well. So that might not always be the best option. But yeah, that is it. What a not fantastic thing for Cedar Point to do. I think that's a massive oversight, and if it's not an oversight, then it is a ridiculously intentioned cash grab. But Top Thrill 2, yeah, what a disappointing little thing to hit your enthusiasts and your fans with just before Top Thrill 2 opens. Hopefully, this has all been a complete misunderstanding, and you will be able to get a ticket to rent one of the main lockers free of charge or something like that. Who knows? Let's hope it changes. But for now, let us know what you think of these safety guidelines for Cedar Point's Top Thrill 2. Is it a cash grab, or is it an unfortunate necessity to keep people safe? Let us know in the comments down below. As ever, if you like our content, please give it a like. And if you want to see more things like this and see our vlogs from around the country, here in the UK, from around Europe and worldwide whenever we get a chance, then please smash that subscribe button. It really, really does help. You wouldn't believe how much it helps, and it doesn't cost you a thing. It would be really, really appreciated. And with that being said, catch you on the next one. Bye.